Group UKIP.
Of the UKIP Group, Neil Hamilton.
Important as are the constitutional issues raised by the leader of Plaid Cymru, they're always likely to be of less immediate concern to the average person in the street than issues such as the health service. And last week, in answer to the leader of the opposition, First Minister, you were unable to give him the assurance that Betsi Cadwaladr Health Board would be out of special measures by the time your term as First Minister comes to an end. The Tawel Fan report referred to the difficulties involved in the creation of Betsi Cadwaladr in the first place, and said that organisational developments on that scale normally take between 5 and 7 years to accomplish. In the light of the Deloitte report, which was commissioned by the Welsh Government, which said that change management arrangements are not fit for purpose and remain a significant obstacle towards delivering sustainable change, can the First Minister tell us whether he thinks that there is the right culture still within Betsi Cadwaladr and whether their use of personnel is sufficiently good so that it can ever pull itself out of special measures?
I believe it can pull itself out of special measures. It's not there yet. I've never been somebody who would put an artificial timetable on when it should come out of special measures. I think it's important it comes out of special measures when the time is appropriate and right. When that is, we would have to take a judgment at the time. There are challenges for Betsi Cadwaladr as a result of what was in the Tawel Fan report. That much is true, and they will need to meet those challenges. But I don't think, for example, another reorganisation of the health service in the north of Wales would be the answer. I think stability is crucial for the next few years.
I understand the point that the First Minister makes, and I've got a great deal of sympathy with it, but the Deloitte report notes a number of worrying long-term systemic weaknesses which will need to be addressed if the delivery of health services in North Wales is to be significantly improved. For example, in relation to the transformation groups, which are supposed to deliver the improvements that we all want to see, the objectives are said to be poorly defined. Group leaders don't yet appear to be clear on accountability outside their own divisions and are yet to deliver any tangible outcomes. Service improvement members of staff are said to be overly junior. There's a lack of in-depth analysis and benchmarking. There's concern about the Project Management Office over whether the skill set actually exists to address the transformation agenda, and in responding to a question from Deloitte on whether there's sufficient project management capability and capacity to support delivery across the financial plan, the majority of managers, finance directors and members of the central finance function teams, they said that they could not say or they disagreed. So are we actually in a position at the moment where we can say we've even begun this improvement plan to any significant degree?
There have been performance improvements, but there is some way to go. And the leader of UKIP is correct in identifying the weaknesses that still need to be addressed, which is why Betsi Cadwaladr will remain in special measures until such time as we can be assured as a government, and indeed that the Assembly can be assured that it's able to stand on its own 2 feet again.
But there were some damning comments in the Deloitte report about leadership in Betsi Cadwaladr, and specifically executive directors operating in silos, a lack of joint corporate ownership and accountability. The Chief Operations Officer's portfolio was said to be too large for a single individual, managing a budget of over £800 million a year. Other executive directors still establishing their portfolios, a lack of granular understanding that the actions of the Health Board will need to deliver, to ensure financial stability. Given that continued indictment, is there not a case for the Welsh Government getting even further involved in the process of transformation than it is already, and that the current leadership team within Betsi Cadwaladr simply have a task which is too great for them to achieve within the limitations of the administrative structure of Betsi Cadwaladr and the budget they have available to them?
No, I think it is right to say that the situation in Betsi Cadwaladr is such that the new structure is not yet bedded in, which is why, of course, it's still in special measures, which is why I've always been absolutely firm in saying that it will remain in special measures until such time as it's able to leave. If I were to say, for example, well, it will leave special measures by X date, well, inevitably, I think that would take some of the positive pressure off in terms of making sure that the Health Board is fit for purpose in the future. And I don't intend to do that. But working with the Board, we intend to make sure that the Board looks to a situation when it's able to run itself outside of special measures in the future.